Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Jason Clark, and it will be my privilege and pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. On behalf of Wayne State University and the Department of Athletics, I want to welcome each of you to the 43rd Annual Athletic Hall of Fame celebration. Today's event is an opportunity to reflect and showcase the very best of Wayne State athletics. On behalf of the athletic department coaches and staff, it gives us great pleasure to have all of you share in this very special occasion. Now in his 6th year leading the university is the 12th president of Wayne State University, Dr. M. Roy Wilson. Additionally, President Wilson is one of 16 members of the NCAA President's Council who is charged with setting the strategic direction for the division. President Wilson.
Thank you. Good afternoon. You know, athletics means different things to different people. And I know as well as many of you, that for me it is a bit personal because I grew up with athletics. But I reached a point, and for you young people out there, this is a preview. And for those of you who are 40 years and over, you know what I'm talking about. I reached that point where my mind knew exactly what to do, but my body wouldn't do it. And so I said, okay, time to stop and do something else. Started doing cycling. And with cycling, I can still get that thrill of doing your best and maximizing whatever your body can do and feeling good about just you're always striving for your personal best. And when I cycle, I think a lot about our motto, Warrior Strong, because it's not just for athletes, but for anyone who is pushing a little bit harder, looking to improve a time by even just a fraction of a second, trying to do their very, very best, and maybe even pursue a personal best. So Warrior Strong. And I know there's a lot of Tartars out there. So even if you're a Tartar, it's okay. It embodies the same thing, the extra determination in all of us to overcome our challenges on the field, in the classroom, and in the game of life, and prepare as best we can to be the best we can be. So today's Hall of Fame inductees join a very distinguished class of Wayne State players and coaches. You've excelled on the field and in the classroom and community, and you led by example. And our current student athletes are working hard to follow in your footsteps. For example, last fall, 3/4 of our student athletes had a 3.0 or better GPA. 46 student athletes earned a 4.0 in the fall term. 182 of our student athletes earned academic all GLIAC honors last school year. And our student athletes have completed more than 71,000 community service hours over the last 7 years, more than 10,000 hours last year. Now, those stats are impressive, but I'd like to put it in a bit of context. You know, when I do my stationary bike training in the winter, I watch TV. And I was watching a series recently called Last Chance U. And for those of you who haven't watched it, it's really great. It's about 2 programs. One in Independence, Kansas. It's a junior college football program that was at the bottom of the league, and then they became at the very top by recruiting all these athletes nationally. And then the other team is Eastern Mississippi, which perennially is in the top 3 or 4 teams in the country, again, a JUCO. And they're full of student athletes, well, I should say athletes, who this is their last chance to make it. Their last chance because they've screwed up. A lot of these are Division I athletes, football players, who did something with their life that they regret. and they want a second chance. They're great athletes. But while watching this series, there's two things that will come to my mind. One was that despite how great these athletes were, how very few would actually make it out of JUCO, get Division I and Division II scholarship offers, and how even fewer would make their ultimate dream of playing in the NFL. So that's one. And then the second thing that struck me is this is their last chance. And yet, their lack of academic discipline in most of these kids. Not even going to class. I don't know what I should do in Independence, Kansas, if you're not going to class. But not even going to class. And I say this because I could not help, every time I saw this series, to think about our student athletes, their resiliency, their talent, but also the fact that they are student athletes and they put student first. So I am so proud of our student athletes, and to all the Hall of Famers, congratulations, Warrior Strong.
Here to provide a brief welcome, first on behalf of current student athletes, a representative of the football program, Mr. Deontay Nicholas. Deontay is Wayne State Student Athlete Advisory Committee President and the GLIAC Student Athlete Advisory Committee representative to the National Committee, where during the most recent NCAA convention, Deontay was named Vice President of the NCAA Division II National Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Deontay.
Thank you guys all so much. This Hall of Fame class, so special, so truly special what you guys have done. On behalf of the student athletes, we thank you so much. You've laid a foundation, set a standard for us student athletes now to reach for, to go up and grab for each and every day. When we see your pictures in the hallway, we see your pictures on the internet, you guys are something to strive for. You've set the bar so high. And let us not forget people like Michael Chan and people like Kelsey Myers now, the people who make everything happen. We thank you so much, and all the coaches and the impact you guys have had in our lives. And just want to give a quick shout out to Troy Burrell. Coming into Wayne State, I watch your highlights like every day. Just wanted to aspire to be like you and just achieve the things you've done. And now that, being here today has all come into fruition, I appreciate you and all you other Hall of Fame inductees that I don't know personally. I thank you so much in your individual sport and being at Wayne State Athletic Department. You guys are truly, truly appreciated, and we're truly grateful. Thank you.
On behalf of the athletic department and coaches and staff, I want to welcome you to this 44th annual Hall of Fame. It's quite a celebration and quite an event for all of us in the athletic department. There's a big thing in social media now. It's looking back over 10 years. And this throwback concept is you post a picture of yourself 10 years ago and then how you look today. A lot of celebrities do it because, well, after 10 years of physical work and having a personal trainer, you still look pretty good. I am destroying all my old pictures, so we're not going to do that. But today is kind of like a throwback Thursday or a fallback Friday because we get a chance to look back at some significant moments and accomplishments by our student athletes and how it magnified and improved the athletic department. I'm going to go through each one of the inductees here today to give you a little insight into them and what it took for them to get here. Eric Johnson, golf. You ever go into a CVS or a Walgreens nowadays? I mean, it's like going into a supermarket. I mean, you can get everything from a cucumber to a Q-tip. But a Hall of Fame golfer? If you swing back the security camera from 2006, you'll find Mike Horn at the CVS at the corner of Joy Road and Telegraph. It's the first time he's ever talking to Eric Johnson. He wants Eric Johnson. He knows the program needs Eric Johnson. He's motivated, he's competitive, and he's a leader. And the longer he talked, he was convinced he had to get Eric Johnson. You know, there's a funny thing about golf recruiting. You don't actually have to see a guy golf to know how good he is. I mean, think about it. It's a game of measurement. If you know how difficult the course is, if you know how it plays, and you know what the golfer's score is, you can easily make a comparison. I mean, if you shoot a 70 at Augusta, you're probably going to do okay at Plum Hollow. We have an inside joke about Mike Horn always playing Plum Hollow. So, but you know what he got that day? He got the Golfer of the Year. Eric Johnson had an immediate impact his freshman year. He played in all 14 events, and in the NCAA Super Regionals, coincidentally also finished 14th. After being injured a year, he came back and was the runner-up to the conference medalist title. He shot a 72, a 71, and a 73, as the Warriors finished second in the NCAA Super Regionals. In his junior year, he was again runner-up to the conference medalist, and this year, Wayne State won and shared the conference title. Eric advanced to the NCAA Super Regionals as an individual, and he shot a 214, the lowest three-round score for a Wayne State golfer, with the exception of Joe Jessic at 212. And his senior year, well, his senior year he was first team all GLIAC and was the GLIAC Conference Golfer of the Year. Just as Mike Horn had foreshadowed those years earlier in the CVS parking lot, he got exactly what he was looking for. He had 3 top 5 finishes in the conference championships, and he was a 3-year co-captain of the golf team. A place where, as a captain, you have to deal with a lot of fragile egos that tend to change on every swing, on every missed putt, on every errant shot. You know, it's kind of funny. I wonder why CVS doesn't put that on their packaging. You know, their tagline is, "We're right around the corner." Well, today we found a place right around the corner for Eric Johnson. It's the southwest corner of the Mathai. It's called the Hall of Fame. Eric, stand up.
Mr. Eric Johnson, please come forward. Eric Johnson was a 4-year golf letter winner, 2007 to 2013. Native of Marquette, Michigan, Eric, battling injuries, ended his career as the 2013 GLIAC Golfer of the Year. As a true freshman, he competed in all 14 events, shooting the 3-day score of 225 to tie for 14th at the NCAA Super Regional. After missing a year to injury, Eric returned in 2009-2010 to earn second-team All-GLIAC honors and second-team All-GLIAC honors again as a junior, where he placed third at the NCAA Super Regional and advanced as an individual to the NCAA Championship, where he finished tied for 32nd. As a senior, Eric was first-team All-GLIAC, finishing with a career-best scoring average, including a best round of 68 at the first NCAA Regional. During his career, the 3-year team co-captain had 3 top 5 finishes at the GLIAC Championship and 2 top 14 finishes at the NCAA Super Regionals. Eric earned his public relations degree from Wayne State. Rob, it gives me great pleasure to present Mr. Eric Johnson for induction into the Wayne State University Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you guys very much. Hey, I need to hear a Go Warriors from everybody on three, all right? 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good. I thought I was going to have to do that twice. I'm very honored to be here. When I got the call from Mr. Fournier back in November about this induction, I couldn't help but flash back to the start of my golf career. My dad had me swinging a golf club at just 10 months old. I could barely walk. But as a golfer from the Upper Peninsula, I wasn't recruited out of high school. And so thankfully, Coach Horn gave me an opportunity. But when I moved down to Wayne State here, there was still no guarantee that I would play. But all I needed was a chance. I was able to earn an unlikely spot in the starting lineup as a freshman. And since I got the news of this induction, I couldn't help but think of the entire Warrior team. For all of these student athletes to be successful, it sure does take an impressive army. From coaches to professors, sports med to strength teams, administration to all the supporters, this university is without a doubt one of the best in the country. I need to specifically thank Coach Horn and his wife Kimberly, Mike and Steve in sports med for helping me through all my injuries, Rob and Jeff and the rest of the Warrior team for setting the bar high. And I also want to thank my mom and my dad for their endless support, my incredible wife Haley, my daughter Ivana, and my brother-in-law Chase for being here with me today. Now, if you guys haven't noticed in your program, the number of years that I was a part of this team it may seem a bit odd. Right? The 2007 to 2013 6-year span, it's actually not a typo. Right? My career here was really anything but normal. After I was able to earn that spot as a freshman in the starting lineup, I was able to play consistently and started every tournament that year. But after that, I injured my foot and had to sit the next season due to injury. Now, that's when a simple foot operation, it turned into a 10-day stay in the hospital from an emergency stomach surgery. By the time I was released from the hospital, I was too weak to walk, and I had to return home for the rest of the school year. Getting through those first couple years, it definitely took a lot of strength, mental toughness, and support from the people around me. Now, our team continued to make progress, and we earned every success that we had. I'm very grateful to have been a part of so many successful teams here at Wayne State. 4 consecutive national championship final appearances, a co-conference championship, and an NCAA regional title, to name a few. What helped me be successful is extreme confidence and focus, a positive attitude, really hard work, and determination through adversity. But here's the thing. I'm not the only one that has gone through adversity. Each and every one of you has gone or is going through something difficult. Even though at times we may seem successful on the outside, we all can struggle with poor health or addiction, financial distress, broken relationships, maybe even a death in the family or of a teammate, or maybe even a challenging work situation. And that list could go on and on. Now, since finishing my career here at Wayne State, I've been blessed with an amazing family. My wife and I get to raise 3 incredible daughters, and I've realized that success looks a whole lot different than I thought it did. Success for me now, as many of you may already know, is having a sacred marriage, fostering healthy and respectful children, and stopping to appreciate the joy that comes from family. I've actually realized it takes the same set of skills that I had mentioned earlier: confidence, focus, hard work, and determination through adversity. But the things that are ultimately responsible for my current success are a faith in God and a relationship with Jesus. Trophies are great. Halls of Fame, they seem eternal with the idea that our names are etched in stone forever. But this success is really only temporary. I am honored to receive this induction, but I wanted to use this opportunity and this time to share a piece of who I am. Success for me is living with integrity and, as Troy mentioned, serving others before yourself. Those things are truly eternal. I love in Proverbs that it says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them. So I want to challenge each and every one of you here today to look beyond what our culture calls success and consider the legacy that you will all leave behind. Thank you guys very much.
Six phenomenal young people, 6 phenomenal careers, 6 new inductees into the Hall of Fame. But you know, it's not about the pictures from years ago. It's not about the stories or the snippets. It isn't really even about those little facts and figures that were thrown out. This is the part that people don't get about athletics. It's a learning environment. It's an environment that tests you in ways that you're not tested anywhere else. And it prepares you for whatever comes next. It could be the president of the university. Whatever it is, you're better prepared because you've been a student athlete. It might be that your dream of being a major leaguer that others say you can't make, well, you overcome that. Where you have doubts about your physical ability to make it and keep going, you fight through that. Where people say, you've got to give me more today than you've given, well, you do that. That's what being a Wayne State student athlete about. And that's what we're celebrating today. You know, some people dream about success. And others get up every day and make it happen, just like the 6 you met. That's why they're champions. That's the example they set for others. Congratulations. Well deserved. Welcome home. Go Warriors.
I want to thank you all for coming over. I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Athletics, Rob Moria.
Thanks, I'd just like the inductees to come up here with the other plaques, the 2019 class. So come on up and pull the sheet down. Don't pull the board down. Just pull the sheet
down. And then somebody reach on the other side. There you go. Just pull it right up. There you go.
Ladies first. Ladies first. Individual lady. Over.